and welcome to The Curators, episode 105, the weekly podcast and YouTube series where I discuss appealing game and game-related crowd-funded projects from the Gamerati curated page on Kickstarter. I'm Marcelo, and our show is transmitted as a podcast that you can find just looking for The Curators on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Stitcher, and a video version of our episodes are at youtube.com/Gamerati. In this episode, let's start our journey at Red Outpost, a 2 to 4 player worker placement game set in a utopian colony on an alien planet. It's a competitive game with matches taking between 30 minutes to 1 hour, being kickstarted by Imperial Publishing. Imperial Publishing Inc. It's their third Kickstarter right now. They're from Springfield, Utah? I don't know. You tell me. Okay. You might not have heard about Imperial Publishing, but you certainly heard of Mayday Games, the sister publisher to Imperial Publishing that made dozens upon dozens of successful Kickstarter campaigns. Both companies are headed by Seth Hiatt, so this project has clout. What's the story of the game? In 1969, the first step on the moon was put to an end to the space race, right? Or has it? A secret Soviet mission sent to build a new world where all people can be equal and work for common good was destined to reach much farther than the moon. Magnificent ship Krasnava Zarya crash-landed on a hospitable planet, which is now yours. Your fathers have worked hard to recreate the best from the world they have left. And now it is your task to guide your comrades to happiness and prosperity. Only together can you succeed in this test. Not test, sorry, task. It's not a test, it's a game. Okay, so you play as one of the leaders of this small communist settlement in a distant galaxy. Your goal is to guide the settlers to this new yet strangely similar terrain. Let's see here, that there's a map here somewhere. So there's grass, there's trees, there's mountains, there's weird wildlife, but also the wildlife you brought with you, that your ancestors brought with you from Earth. So yeah, you and your fellow players will take turns placing the shared settlers, because it's a worker placement game, making sure the resources are managed properly, because it's a resource management game, and carefully choose the right worker for any given job. You also have to keep the morale of the population to become the most prolific leader, raising above the other players. This game is clever in which makes use of some mechanics that I at least have never seen in worker placement games before. First of all, you have to take care of the workers' happiness, which will reflect on their productivity. Also, although you are competing with other players, all of the resources and workers are shared amongst all of you. It's because this future has no place for private property. The winner is the leader who better motivates the worker to be productive and happy. On the Kickstarter page, you'll find the downloadable rulebook and how to play videos by, I think, Rado Runs Through. Let's see here. Yeah, Rado Runs Through, The Dice Tower, and also a video by Game Boy Geek, and a video overview by Imperial Publishing themselves. If you look at one of those videos, you'll see that this is a complex game without being complicated. There is a bunch of random elements that will make each match very different than the previous, and it very slightly reminds me of Puerto Rico. So if you like this kind of Euro style game, you are gonna love Red Outpost. The Kickstarter runs until the 31st of December, and they needed $5,000. There are over 86 $1,000 with almost 2,500 backers. And let's see here the pledge levels. Oh, the rule book we have downloaded in 9 different languages: German, Spanish, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, Portuguese, Korean, and Dutch. You can download the English version of the rules book from the Kickstarter page, so you can check out the game. Okay, for $30 or more, you get the standard version of the game, plus all the stretch goals. For $35, you have the deluxe limited edition. It's limited to 2,500 people. 2209 there, so there are still 291 spaces for you to get the deluxe version of the game, all standard and all deluxe stretch goals. For $69, you get the double deluxe. You are getting 2 copies of the Kickstarter limited exclusive deluxe version of the game, along with all standard and deluxe stretch goals for both. And for $130, you get a 4-pack with 4 editions of the deluxe game and all stretch goals. There are limits on those. Let's see here. 2 games there's 41 spaces left. And for 4 games, there's 19 spots left. Shipping will be collected post-campaign during the post-campaign survey process, which I like because it means I pay it in 2 installments, one for the Kickstarter and then hopefully on a different page of my credit card for shipping. Shipping will be expected $6 for United States, China, and Hong Kong, $10 for Canada and Taiwan, $14 for continental Europe and Australia, and $18 worldwide. For the double deluxe edition pledge levels, shipping is $10 for United States, $17 to Canada, $24 to Europe and Australia, and $30 worldwide. Store backers pay $5. There's something specific for retailers here. But yeah, it's not a very expensive game. I think shipping is not at all expensive. I mean, it is, but it's what I'm used to. So you still have until the 31st of December to back Red Outpost, the 2 to 4 player communist utopia board game by Imperial Publishing. Now let's go to the next project. The next project that called my attention is a very different one, although it's typical me if you've been listening to this show for a while. It's called Legendary Cats by Windmaster Miniatures, a company of miniature for war games and RPGs from Spain that's been doing this since 2015. It's their 4th Kickstarter project, and this one caught my eye. Legendary Cats is a collection of 28 to 32 millimeter miniatures, so it's standard, right? Featuring legendary characters throughout the fantasy and the historic escape, all in cat versions. Oh yeah, you've got William Catlace, you have Catonidas, the king of Cat Sparta, you have Grisdolf the wizard, you have Cat Gertha, the shield kitten, you have Indeni Drakery, you have Sylvie Catrunner, and others. The Kickstarter was projected to offer you one unique miniature of each of their characters, or to make a custom order with however many miniatures you want, creating your very own anthropomorphic cat army. For example, for €16, you get to choose between the 4 figurines of the male cat pack or the female cat pack. Or for €26, you get all 8 miniatures with 20mm square bases. But let's say that you actually want a detachment of Cat Spartans. I mean, everybody would want a detachment of Cat Spartans warriors. So you manually add the amount of money to your pledge to make for another 4 sets. And let them know that you're actually pledging for the specific figurines you're buying. That way you can create your very own exclusive collection. You can also ask them to change the square bases for circular bases, which I think are more used in RPGs than in war games. Now, I gotta say, those are all amazing, but William Catlace, Christoph the Grey, and Kitty Ladriel are my favorites. So the base pack is Legendary Male Cat Pack with 16 euros, or Legendary Female Cats Pack, or you can get everything for 26 euros, which is kind of a discount. They have a size comparison here. They have several angles of all the cats on the Kickstarter page. And it goes all the way to January the 4th next year. They asked for a meager 800 euros, and now they're over 3,000 euros with 72 backers. And let's see here. 26. Yeah, that's it. That's the 3 pledge levels. 16 euros, which was what, $18 US for the male cats pack or the female cats pack, or 26 euros, which is 29 US for all the 8 miniatures with 20mm square bases that you can ask them to change to the circular base. I think I said, yeah, the square bases are 20mm and the round bases are 25mm, which is the ones we use more often for RPGs, I believe, and war games are the square bases. Anyhow, take a look by Windmaster Miniatures. It's their 4th project here on Kickstarter, and yeah, I think it would be an awesome addition, either for your war game or your RPG, or just to put on your shelf. All right, let's wrap up another episode of The Curators. You can find our curated page, the only one exclusively about tabletop games, at kickstarter.com/gamerati. You can also email us at thecurators@gamerati.com. Tell me if you liked the projects I commented today and if you are backing any of them. I'd be glad to know. The show notes for this episode and all our episodes are at thecurators.gamerati.com. You can also find The Curators in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. And there is also a video version of this episode at youtube.com/gamerati. That's it for me. Catch you up next week.